My girlfriend said, "I need the apartment tonight. Don't come home. And don't ask why." I said, "All right." I just checked the smart lock entry logs. When I saw she walked in with another man, I sent the screenshots to his wife. An hour later, no one in that building forgot what happened next. I'm Trevor, 31, and I'd been dating Megan for 2 years. We'd moved in together about 8 months ago. My apartment, my name on the lease. But she'd been staying there most nights anyway, so it felt like a natural step. The place had one of those smart lock systems with an app that showed entry logs with timestamps. Security feature I'd installed after a break-in happened 2 floors down last year, Monday evening around 6 p.m. I was at work finishing up some reports when Megan texted, "I need the apartment tonight." I replied, "Okay, what time should I come back?" "Not sure. Maybe stay at Ben's? I'll text you when you can come home." "What's going on? Just trust me. Don't come home and don't ask why." I stared at that message for a solid minute. The phrasing was weird. Not, "Can I have the apartment?" but "Don't come home." Not, "I'll explain later," but "Don't ask why." All right. I called my friend Ben. "Hey, can I crash at your place tonight?" "Yeah, sure. Everything okay?" "Probably not. I'll tell you when I get there." I left work at 7, stopped to grab some food, drove to Ben's apartment across town. Got there around 8:15. Ben took one look at my face and handed me a beer. "What happened?" "Megan kicked me out of my own apartment. Told me not to ask why." "That's suspicious." "Yeah." "You think she's cheating?" "I don't know. Maybe." "You going to check?" I pulled out my phone, opened the smart lock app. Already did. The log showed Megan entering at 7:47 p.m. Nothing unusual there. But at 8:02 p.m., there was another entry. The system logged it as guest access, which meant she'd let someone in. "She has someone there," Ben said, looking over my shoulder. "Could be anyone. Friend, family, whoever. At your apartment, after specifically telling you to stay away and not ask questions." "Yeah." We sat in silence for a minute. Then I did something I'm not proud of but don't regret. I opened the building's directory app. Our building had this system where residents could look up other residents for deliveries and emergencies. I scrolled through recent visitors logged in the main entrance. At 7:58 p.m., someone named David Morrison had been buzzed into the building. He'd used the guest access at the main door, which meant Megan had let him in remotely. "Who's David Morrison?" Ben asked. "No idea." I Googled the name with our city, found a LinkedIn profile. David Morrison, 38, married, works in finance. His profile picture showed him in a suit. Good-looking guy, wedding ring visible. "He's married," I said. "Shit." I clicked through to his Facebook profile, which wasn't fully private. His cover photo was a family shot. Him, his wife, 2 kids. His wife's name was tagged, Rebecca Morrison. "What are you going to do?" Ben asked. I looked at the smart lock log again. Megan and this David guy were in my apartment right now, doing God knows what on furniture I paid for. "I'm going to find out who his wife is," I said. Took me maybe 20 minutes of social media digging, found Rebecca Morrison's Instagram, public profile, lots of family photos, posts about her kids' soccer games, and her small business selling custom jewelry. She seemed nice, normal, definitely didn't deserve what was probably happening right now. I screenshotted the smart lock entry log showing both entries with timestamps, took a photo of my lease showing my name and the apartment address. Wrote a message to Rebecca through Instagram DM. "Hi Rebecca, you don't know me, but I think you need to see this. My name is Trevor Walsh. I live at address. My girlfriend Megan told me to stay away from my apartment tonight. I just checked my smart lock logs and saw that David Morrison entered my building and apartment tonight. I thought you should know. Screenshots attached. I'm sorry to be the one telling you this. Sent it at 9:23 p.m. Ben looked at me. You just sent that? Yeah. That's going to explode everything. Good. Update 1. Rebecca read the message at 9:31 p.m. The read receipt showed she'd seen it. Then nothing. Ben and I sat there watching TV, neither of us really paying attention. I kept checking my phone. No response from Rebecca, no texts from Megan. At 10:47 p.m., Rebecca replied, "Where is this apartment?" I sent her the exact address and apartment number. "I'm on my way. Thank you for telling me." "She's coming to the apartment," I told Ben. "Right now?" "Yeah." "Are you going too?" "No. This is between her and them. I'm staying out of it." "That's probably smart." At 11:03 p.m., I got a notification from the building's security system. Someone had accessed the main entrance. Not unusual. People come and go all night. But then, at 11:06 p.m., there was a loud disturbance alert from the security camera in my hallway. Ben pulled up the building's security feed on his laptop. He'd dated someone in my building last year and still had access to the public camera streams. We watched as a woman I assumed was Rebecca Morrison pounded on my apartment door. The door opened. Megan appeared, wearing one of my t-shirts and shorts. Even through the grainy camera feed, you could see her face go from annoyed to horrified when she recognized Rebecca. Then Rebecca pushed past her into the apartment. The camera didn't show inside, but we could see the door was left wide open. Could hear yelling, couldn't make out words, but the tone was clear. 30 seconds later, David Morrison came running out of my apartment, pulling on his shirt, shoes in hand. Rebecca came out after him, screaming something we couldn't hear. Megan stood in the doorway looking paralyzed. Rebecca threw something at David, looked like his shoes, hit him in the back as he ran toward the elevator. She turned back to Megan, said something that made Megan physically step back, then left. The whole thing lasted maybe 3 minutes. But the neighbors started coming out, doors opening up and down the hall, people watching. My apartment door stayed open the whole time. "Holy shit," Ben said. My phone buzzed. Text from Megan. "Where are you?" I didn't respond. "Trevor, please, I can explain. It's not what you think. Trevor, answer me." I blocked her number. At 11:34 p.m., Rebecca messaged me again. "Thank you. I needed to see that with my own eyes. I'm sorry this happened to you too. I'm sorry I had to tell you. Don't be. Better to know. That asshole is dead to me. What are you going to do? Divorce lawyer first thing tomorrow, and making sure everyone we know finds out what he did. Good luck. You too. That girl's not worth your time." She was right. But it still hurt. Update 2. I stayed at Ben's that night. Didn't sleep much. Kept thinking about Megan and David in my apartment, in my space. Wondering how long it had been going on, whether this was the first time or just the first time I'd caught her. Tuesday morning, I went to work but couldn't focus. Around 10 a.m., I got a call from my building manager. "Mr. Walsh, we need to talk about last night's disturbance." "I wasn't there." "I know, but it was your apartment. Several tenants complained about the noise and commotion, and your door was left open for over an hour after the incident." "My girlfriend was there. She can explain." "Actually, she's not here. Your apartment is still open. We need you to come secure it." I left work and drove to the building. The manager met me in the lobby, looking uncomfortable. "Mr. Walsh, I have to tell you, there's been some property damage." "What kind?" "You should see it yourself." We went up to my floor. My apartment door was indeed wide open. I walked in and stopped cold. The place was trashed, not in a burglary way, in a rage way. Picture frames smashed, couch cushions slashed. My TV had a crack across the screen, kitchen drawers dumped out, clothes everywhere. "What the hell happened?" I asked. "We're not sure. The cameras show the woman, Rebecca Morrison, according to the police report, was only here for a few minutes last night. The damage happened sometime after 2 a.m. Your girlfriend was seen on camera throwing things, breaking items. Then she left around 4 a.m. and hasn't been back." "Police report?" "Mrs. Morrison filed a report about the incident trespassing and disturbing the peace. Since it's your apartment, you weren't included. But we have it documented now." I walked through the apartment in a daze. 2 years of my life with Megan ended with her destroying my space because she got caught. My laptop was smashed, my gaming console thrown against the wall. Every dish I owned apparently dropped on the floor. The bedroom was worse, mattress slashed, clothes shredded, cologne bottles shattered. "I'm so sorry," the manager said. "We've evicted tenants for less than this. If you want to press charges..." "I want her stuff gone and the locks changed." "We can do that." "And Mr. Walsh? Several neighbors want to talk to you. They saw what happened last night and feel terrible. Mrs. Chen from 4B said she has security footage from her doorbell camera if you need it." "Thanks. I'll talk to her." I spent the rest of Tuesday cleaning up. Ben came over after work to help. Several neighbors stopped by, some offering to help, some just being nosy. A few sharing what they'd heard and seen. Mrs. Chen showed me her footage. Crystal clear view of Rebecca arriving, pounding on my door, the confrontation. Then hours later, Megan systematically destroying everything she could get her hands on while crying and screaming. "That poor woman," Mrs. Chen said about Rebecca. "Coming home to find her husband like that. And you too. You both deserved better." Update 3. Wednesday. Megan tried to come back. The locks had been changed, so she couldn't get in. She called the building manager demanding to be let in. He told her she was no longer a resident, and if she didn't leave, he'd call the police. She called me from a friend's phone. I answered without thinking. "Trevor, please, I need to get my stuff." "You destroyed most of it when you trashed my apartment." "I was upset." "You were caught." "It was a mistake, one mistake. We can work through this." "One mistake? Megan, you planned this. You told me to stay away. You brought a married man to my apartment. How long has this been going on?" "It doesn't matter. How long?" Silence. Then, quietly, 3 months. 3 months. I felt sick. "Trevor, please, I love you. David meant nothing." "Then why'd you trash my apartment after his wife caught you?" "I was humiliated. Everyone in the building saw. I panicked." "You were humiliated? You brought this on yourself. You sent his wife there. You ruined everything." "No, you ruined everything the first time you decided to cheat on me in my home. I just made sure the truth came out." "I hate you." "Good. Makes this easier. Your stuff that survived is in boxes in the lobby. Pick it up by Friday or I'm donating it." I hung up. Blocked that number too. Thursday. I heard through the building grapevine that Rebecca had indeed filed for divorce. Word was she'd shown up at David's office, confronted him in front of his colleagues, made sure everyone knew exactly what kind of person he was. His company apparently had a morality clause in their contracts. He was on administrative leave pending investigation. Rebecca messaged me again. "I heard your girlfriend destroyed your apartment. I'm so sorry, not your fault. She made her choices. Still, that's awful. If there's anything I can do to help, just knowing someone else isn't taking their shit makes me feel better. Trust me, he's not getting away with anything. My lawyer is making sure of that." "Good. And Trevor? Thank you for telling me. I know it was hard, but you saved me from wasting more time on someone who didn't deserve it. Same to you. We didn't talk after that. Didn't need to. We'd both done what needed to be done." Final update. It's been 2 months. My apartment's been repaired. Insurance covered most of it, though my rates went up. Megan never came to get her stuff. I donated it all. I heard she moved back to her parents' house in another state. Her social media went private after someone apparently shared the story of what happened. Some mutual friends reached out asking for my side. I told them the truth. Most believed me. A few thought I was cruel for sending Rebecca to the apartment. Those aren't my friends anymore. David Morrison's life imploded. His wife got full custody of their kids in the divorce. His company let him go. Last I heard, he was trying to rebuild somewhere else. Good luck with that when your ex-wife and ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend both have receipts. As for me, I'm doing okay. Better than okay, actually. I started therapy to process the betrayal and the aftermath. Started dating again. Nothing serious, just reminding myself what it feels like to be with someone who doesn't lie to my face. The building manager told me last week that I'm a legend among the neighbors. Apparently the story of the smart lock logs and Rebecca showing up has become building lore. Mrs. Chen brings me cookies every Sunday, says I handled it with dignity. I don't know about dignity. I just know I wasn't going to be the chump who never found out. When Megan told me not to ask why, she was counting on me being too trusting to question her. But trust is earned, and she'd been burning through mine for 3 months without me knowing. The smart lock logs saved me from wasting more time on someone who was actively betraying me. The decision to tell Rebecca saved both of us from partners who didn't deserve our loyalty and the public nature of how it all went down. That wasn't me being vindictive. That was just consequences finally catching up with people who thought they could get away with it. Megan wanted the apartment to herself that night because she thought she'd gotten away with it. She thought I was too naive, too trusting, too passive to ever find out she was wrong about all three. And every time I walk past my apartment door now, I remember that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all, it's just the truth, delivered to the people who need to hear it most. Edit. For people saying I should have confronted Megan directly first, why? So she could gaslight me, lie to my face, make me doubt what I saw with my own eyes in the entry logs. I gave her plenty of chances to tell me the truth when she texted asking where I was. She chose to keep lying. That's on her. Edit 2. Yes. Rebecca and I are still in occasional contact. We're not friends exactly, but we check in every few weeks. We're both healing from betrayal, and sometimes it helps to talk to someone who understands what that feels like. It's not romantic. Just two people who got screwed over by the same situation. Edit 3. The apartment damage was worth about $4,200. Insurance covered $3,800. I'm pursuing small claims court for the rest. Though Megan's apparently judgment-proof since she's unemployed and living with her parents, I'll probably never see that money. But the principle matters more than the cash at this point.